Still ahead here, outrage over an advertisement in Mexico that shows much of the United States under the control of Mexico. They seem to be somewhat nostalgic for that in Mexico, at least according to Absolut Vodka. Casey Wyan will have the report on just how much they're drinking of their own product. Casey?
Yeah, Lou, Absolut Vodka is now apologizing for that ad that shows Mexican territory extending into the United States as far north as the Washington state border. We'll have details coming up.
Look forward to it. And Casey, I thought that was just a little fringe element in this country, the Reconquistas. You mean there's some kind of like national interest in this subject in Mexico itself?
A lot of folks have been saying that this is a fantasy and there's no such idea as Reconquista among many Mexicans, but it's there.
I'll bet you the Southern Poverty Law Center is about to attack Absolut Vodka with gusto, or whatever it is they do. All right. Outrage over a vodka ad in Mexico that depicts much of the United States as a part of Mexico. The ad for Absolut Vodka shows California, Texas. I don't know why I'm saying this to you. We could just simply show you a map, but there it is. And other states are still belonging to Mexico. Some activist groups claim the land is rightfully part of Mexico even now. But a number of consumers in this country apparently were offended by the ad. They're calling for a boycott of Absolut. Casey Wyan has our report.
The marketing campaign is called In an Absolute World, and many Americans are absolutely outraged by one ad showing the entire southwestern United States belonging to Mexico. The ad appeared in the Mexican celebrity lifestyle magazine Quién, owned by CNN's parent company Time Warner, and on billboards in Mexico. The image shows Mexico's approximate borders before the Mexican-American War. Though the United States won and paid Mexico for what became the American Southwest, some Mexicans say it rightfully belongs to them.
That's an extremely prevalent idea. 58% of Mexicans say that they have every right to return to the Southwest of the United States and that they don't need documents. It's really stolen territory.
The ad sparked outrage on the internet. People who called Absolut to complain heard this recorded message.
This particular ad, which ran in Mexico and has run its course, was based upon historical perspectives and was created with a Mexican sensibility. In no way was it meant to offend or disparage, nor does it advocate an altering of borders, nor does it lend support to any anti-American sentiment, nor does it reflect immigration issues. Instead, it harkens to a time which the population of Mexico may feel was more ideal.
On Saturday, Absolut, a Swedish company now being acquired by Pernod Ricard of France, apologized and said it would no longer run the ads. Still, a poll on the Los Angeles Times website found nearly two-thirds of the respondents said the ad was an affront to Americans and they would boycott the product. Now, Lou, earlier today I was printing a copy of the Los Angeles Times blog on the Absolut controversy, and I mistakenly printed all of the reader comments. I was shocked to find this stack of paper, 316 pages, literally thousands of mostly angry responses. The campaign may have been successful in selling vodka in Mexico, but clearly it backfired here in the United States, Lou.
Yeah, I mean, this is crazy. I love the Absolut Vodka, though. Suggesting that they were not, and I think all of us should feel a lot better knowing Absolut Vodka doesn't intend to change any of our borders through that ad. That was very reassuring. And the suggestion, the acknowledgement, I guess, that the Mexicans are feeling somewhat like the 1830s were more ideal times. I wonder if that's really true.
Absolutely, it's true. This ad was put together
by... You said absolutely true. Were you making a pun?
No, not intentionally, Lou. But the advertising company that put this together was based in Mexico City. That's who put this particular ad together. And this idea that the American Southwest was stolen from Mexico is still part of many textbooks in Mexican schools. And a lot of people, as the surveys have showed in Mexico, believe that this is rightfully their land.
And would you like to just share with our audience how many times this broadcast, you and I and other journalists associated with us here, have been criticized for even suggesting the idea that Reconquista was even a marginal concept at the fringe of the left-wing radical nut jobs who are excited about this issue?
Yeah, I couldn't come close to counting the number of times we've been criticized, but it's often. And this idea, though, despite the protestations of people like the Southern Poverty Law Center, is alive and well on both sides of the border, Lou.
Yeah, one thing we've got no shortage of, the left, the right, the extremes in this, both in Mexico and here. In Mexico, obviously, as the professor pointed out, this holds great credence with a lot of Mexican citizens.